We all agreed not to do gifts this year, my mom said, as my brother's kids unwrapped iPhones, a $3,000 gaming PC, and VIP concert tickets. You're overreacting, Dad smirked. I just nodded, took my kids' coats, and that night, I ended every shared subscription, card, and payment in my name. By morning, there were 63 missed calls, 2 cops at my door. I'm Noah Hart, 35, oldest son, husband to Lena, dad to 2 kids who love cardboard boxes more than any toy inside them. I'm the person who fixes Wi-Fi, remembers birthdays, keeps the group chat from dying, and pays for things no one talks about. Christmas Eve, my parents' living room smelled like cinnamon spray and hot dust from the space heater. My brother Jake walked in 20 minutes late, sunglasses on his head like he'd just landed from a tour. His wife, Erin, took selfies near the tree. Their 2 kids ran in circles, already wired. Mom stepped in front of me while I was taking off my coat. She patted my chest like she owned the fabric. We all agreed not to do gifts this year, she said, low but crisp. It's been a hard season for everyone. Don't make a scene. I blinked. I didn't bring anything. Good, Dad added from the recliner. He didn't look up. No pressure. We're focusing on time together. Lena squeezed my hand. Our kids carried in a tin of cookies they'd decorated themselves, blobs of icing, and too many red sprinkles. I felt okay. Relieved, even. No gifts meant no scoreboard. Then Erin clapped. Presents. She sang, like a game show host. Jake winked at the kids. Special exception, he said. From Santa. Mom didn't say a word to stop it. She moved a throw pillow instead. Like that mattered more. Their son tore into a square box. iPhone. Newest one. He shouted like he'd seen God. Their daughter peeled back paper on a stack of VIP tickets. 3 nights, front row, a pop star with glitter tattoos my kid had drawings of on her notebook. The big box went last. Gaming PC with lights like a nightclub. A card taped on top. For school, too. The room erupted. Dad actually stood up for that one, hands behind his back, nodding the way he does at car dealerships. Mom pressed a hand to her heart. Oh, Jake. But we said. She was smiling when she said it. Jake shrugged. It's Christmas. He looked at me like it was a punchline. My son glanced at his little sister, at the cookies they'd made. He studied the iPhone box like it was a planet. He said, too bright. We can play with the box after, right? My daughter held a cookie tin close to her chest. Her lip did that stubborn wobble she hates everyone seeing. I heard my voice come out flat. So the no gifts rule was? Mom tilted her head. No one said you couldn't bring something small. Her eyes slid down my sweater like I'd failed a dress code. Besides, Jacob pays for so much during the year. Let him have his moment. Erin laughed. Don't be dramatic, Noah. You know how sensitive you get. Dad smirked without meeting my eyes. You're overreacting. I looked at my kids. Lena looked at me. For a second, the room was all vacuum noise. I wasn't about to cry in front of them. I wasn't going to argue over wrapping paper and rules that only applied to me. Coats, I said quietly to my 2. I kept my face neutral, like this was a normal thing to do. I helped my daughter slide her arm into the sleeve. My son put the cookies back in the tin, careful, like they were fragile glass. Mom stepped forward. You're not leaving. Don't be silly. Jake's grin stretched. Man, come on. Stay? It's not that deep. I opened the front door. Cold air cut through the fake cinnamon. Merry Christmas, I said. I didn't slam the door. Didn't make a speech. Just walked out with my family, down the steps, into the frost that felt like truth. You don't start a night like that from zero. You build toward it with 1,000 small sure, I can cover it. I grew up in a house where money was a mood. When Dad was happy, bills took care of themselves. When he wasn't, a light left on was a personal attack. Mom's love came with math. We did so much for you, she'd say, and then hand me an invoice disguised as a memory. Jake was the golden kid. Loud, charming, surfed on luck like it was a skill. When teachers called home about his energy, Mom called him gifted. When I brought home honor roll, she said, of course, and told me to keep quiet so Jake could focus. At 17, I got a job washing dishes at a diner. Jake used the car I saved for because his gas money situation was complicated. I co-signed a student card at 19 so he could build credit. He built it like a bonfire. Late fees, cash advances, then tears when Mom found the statement. You 2 figure it out, she said, passing the bill. I figured it out. I always did. Fast forward. I married Lena. We rented a small 2-bedroom with a squeaky window. Our kids shared a room and thought it was camping. I worked IT for a medical group. Lena taught kindergarten, came home with glitter stuck to her neck like medals. We lived within our means and sometimes under them. I tracked subscriptions, juggled due dates, packed lunches, made lists. My paycheck wasn't glamorous, but it was clean. Every dollar had a job. The family group chat had other plans. Mom, Netflix acting weird. Noah, can you check? Dad, ESPN Plus login again. Jake, bro, can you add me to your Amazon? Aaron's card is being weird. Being weird meant maxed. I added them. It was easier than the fight. 30 here, 12 there, 90 once a year, a steady drip until the bucket was full. Jake's jobs changed with the seasons. Sales, startups, a YouTube project. He had a blog phase where he wrote about grind culture from a couch I was paying the internet for. Invest in me, he said once, serious. We're family. I didn't invest. I did buy his kids' school shoes when Aaron texted me at 11 p.m. with emergency. The next morning, Mom posted a Facebook memory about how proud she was of her boys. The likes went to Jake. When we bought a used minivan, Dad said, fancy. When Jake leased a truck bigger than our kitchen, Dad said, you only live once. When we skipped a beach trip to fix our leaking sink, Mom asked why we were so negative. 2 summers ago, Dad forgot property taxes. He called me like a telemarketer, fast, friendly, urgent. Buddy, we could lose the house. I arranged a payment plan, sat with him at the kitchen table to set up auto draft. He nodded through instructions like a tourist. Mom made lemonade and told me I was a good son. A month later, she told a neighbor she managed the whole thing herself. When their internet went out, my phone lit up like a fire alarm. The TV is saying something about DHCP. I drove over. Lena watched our kids and texted, bring milk. I crawled behind the entertainment center, dust in my mouth, checking cables. Jake showed up mid-crisis with a six-pack. What's up, nerds? He said, opening one. Dad laughed like a game show audience. I fixed it. No one said thank you. Mom asked if I could stay to help Aaron pick rug colors. Every December, there was a new rule about gifts. No gifts this year, after Jake's third job switch. Only homemade, after Aaron's boutique closed. Secret Santa, $20 limit, after Dad's colonoscopy bills. And every year, someone broke it, and it wasn't me. Aaron brought designer scarves she found on sale. Dad unveiled a grill that needed its own extension cord. Mom gave Jake just a little something that looked a lot like a watch ad. When I brought cookies and a framed photo of the grandkids, Mom called it thoughtful. Then she said, it's not about money. It always was. The small asks grew teeth. Jake sent me a Zelle request labeled Little League. Aaron texted, hey, can you pay the field trip this time? They won't let me sign up without a card, and mine is acting weird. Acting weird. My daughter missed a book fair because our envelope got lost at school. We hugged, and I told her we'd go to the library. That night, I approved a $240 request labeled uniforms. When I mentioned budgeting, Mom sighed. Noah, stop counting. It's Christmas. Don't be petty. Petty was the word for any boundary I tried to set. When I said, let's switch everyone off my Amazon, it's unsafe, Mom said, family shares. When I said, please don't hand out my logins, Dad said, it's not nuclear codes. I changed passwords, then changed them back after the phone calls. The path of least resistance was a trench I kept digging. 2 weeks before that Christmas, Jake posted a photo of his kids at a gaming store, eyes shining. Big surprise is coming, he wrote. Aaron commented with a string of gift emojis. Mom heart reacted like she was on payroll. In the group chat, Mom wrote, no gifts this year, everyone. Times are tough. I wrote, got it. Dad reacted with a thumbs up. Aaron sent same, with a snowflake. Jake didn't say anything. Lena asked if I was okay with it. I am, I said. I was tired. I wanted quiet, hot cocoa, board games with missing pieces. We baked cookies with our kids and put them in a tin. They looked terrible. They tasted perfect. I slept fine. And then we walked into my parents' living room, and my son learned what an iPhone looks like when it's no gifts. He watched his cousin's hand wrap around a future he was told wasn't happening. My daughter hugged a tin of cookies and tried not to cry because crying makes grandma say dramatic. People think the worst part is the presents. It's not. It's the story around them. The way my family can bend any rule into a circle that fits around Jake like a halo. The way they look at me like I'm holding a ledger while they're holding love. Back in the car, our kids were quiet. Lena turned on the seat heaters, slow warmth under the cold. No one blamed me. No one said anything. That silence, polite, careful, was the loudest thing I'd ever heard. At home, I put the cookie tin on the counter. The sprinkles looked like someone had bled glitter. My phone buzzed with a text from Mom. You were rude. Then another. We were embarrassed. Then Dad. Grow up. Lena stood beside me, hip against the counter. Say it, she said. I'm done. I didn't raise my voice. It felt like placing a book on a shelf. Final, soft. She nodded. Then do it. You don't flip a table in my world. You pull a thread and watch the tablecloth slide out clean. I opened the family group chat. My thumb hovered. Jake had sent a photo of his son holding the iPhone, 2 fingers up like a trophy. Christmas miracle, he'd captioned. Aaron had added, he deserves the best. I typed, starting tonight, I'm ending every subscription, card, and payment in my name. Please update your own. You have 24 hours to download anything important. After that, my accounts are mine. I didn't press send. Not yet. Old habit. Show mom first. Ask permission without admitting it. Lena watched my hands. You don't need to explain, she said. You've explained for 10 years. I hit send. A small whoosh. Then I opened my bank app. My hands didn't shake. I scrolled through autopays. Netflix, family. HBO Max, family. ESPN Plus, Dad. Amazon Prime, everyone. Cloud storage, Jake. A phone line I'd added 3 years ago just for a month for Aaron's contractor discount. My stomach tightened. Lena slid a notebook next to me. A pen. You already know the list, she said. I did. I canceled the add-on phone line first. The carrier app asked, are you sure? Like a friend. Yes. I removed secondary users. I changed the Prime password. I turned off household. I removed saved cards on Jake's account. I ended ESPN Plus. I updated my streaming profiles to Noah's. I canceled the cloud storage that billed to my card for devices I didn't own. Notifications stacked. You've made changes to your plan. Your payment method has been removed. Your account will expire on. Messages lit the group chat like a pinball machine. Jake. Dude, what are you doing? Mom, Noah. No. Dad, put it back. Aaron. Are you serious right now? It's Christmas. Me. Yes. It's unsafe to share accounts and cards. Handle your own. Jake. Wow. Power trip. Mom, we'll talk tomorrow. I turned off the chat's alerts. Not the group. Just the noise. Lena handed me hot tea. It smelled like mint and a clean page. At midnight, I logged into our joint card and removed Jake as an authorized user. I disabled one-touch ordering on Amazon. I canceled 3 subscriptions I'd forgotten I paid for until the app flashed red. At 12:40 a.m., I saw it. The old gym membership Dad had put on my card after he lost his wallet. He'd never gone. I canceled it. The app asked if I wanted to leave a reason. I typed, no longer useful. I wasn't angry. Anger had been used up earlier, in the space between iPhone and don't be dramatic. This was something else. I felt like I was clicking seatbelts. At 1:12 a.m., Lena went to bed. She paused in the doorway. I'm proud of you, she said. My chest pulled tight in a good way, like a hug from the inside. At 1:30 a.m., I added fraud alerts to my cards, put travel notifications on our spring break plans, set up 2-factor where it had been a prayer. At 2:04 a.m., I opened a new family group. Me, Lena, our kids as a future placeholder for when they're older. I named it Heart Home. I sent one message, movie night tomorrow. Popcorn. Your pick. My son's tablet dinged from the other room. He'd hear it in the morning and smile. By 2:30 a.m., I was done. Not perfect. Done. I slept. At 6:10 a.m., the doorbell rang. The peephole showed 2 uniforms and my parents on the porch like a bad sitcom crossover. Dad had his I'm reasonable face on. Mom clutched her robe like she'd been dragged from bed by injustice itself. I opened the door. Morning. One officer spoke, voice calm. We got a call about a family dispute. Is everything okay here? Mom jumped in. He stole our services, she said, stabbing a finger at me. He locked us out of accounts, and her voice broke perfect on cue. We have grandkids who can't watch their shows. Dad added. He threatened us with money. I looked at the officer. I sent a message last night that I would stop paying for accounts I own. All logins and cards are in my name. There were no threats, just boundaries. The second officer glanced at Mom. Ma'am, this sounds like a civil matter. Mom's face shifted. He's unstable, she said. We're worried about the children. She tried to peer past me like my living room was a crime scene. Behind me, Lena stepped into view. Ponytail, sweatshirt, calm. Our kids are eating pancakes shaped like snowmen, she said. Would you like one? The first officer did a small smile, like he wasn't supposed to. We don't need pancakes. Dad tried another angle. Son, just turn it back on until after the holiday. No, I said. Jake's text popped up on my lock screen like a comic speech bubble. Put ESPN back or I swear. I flipped the phone over. Mom stared at me like I was a door I should be holding open. Family doesn't do this, she said. Family doesn't make one person pay for everything and call it love, I said. The officer cleared his throat. If there's no threat and everyone is safe, we'll head out. Mom's eyes filled in a way I'd seen 1,000 times. Always time to tilt a room. Noah, don't do this, she whispered. It's Christmas. It is, I said. Go home. They left with a final glare that said this wasn't over. The officers nodded polite goodbyes. The door closed. The house exhaled. My phone buzzed itself dizzy. 63 missed calls, then 70. A vortex. Mom, Dad, Jake, unknown numbers. Aaron went full caps in the group chat. My kids can't watch anything. Jake sent a voice note. I didn't listen. Dad texted, we raised you. Like it was a bill. I made coffee. Lena flipped snowman pancakes, the eyes slightly crooked. Our son asked what VIP meant. I told him it means someone decided you were important. He nodded like that made sense. At 9, Mom called from a different number. I picked up because a clean break meant I could choose my moments. You're humiliating us, she said. I'm not posting anything. I canceled my payments. You're punishing your brother's children. I'm feeding my own. Silence. Then, we did so much for you. You did some things, I said. I did a lot for you. That ledger works both ways. She inhaled sharply. Money isn't everything. It was last night. Click. At 10, Jake called and went straight to attack mode. You petty little. Stop, I said. I wasn't loud. Here's what's true. You used my cards. You used my logins. You didn't ask. You got used to thinking my wallet was a family resource. It's not. Get your own accounts. If you need help setting them up, I'll send you a list. You think you're better than us, he said. I think I'm done being your bank. He laughed like a cough. You want us to fail. I want to stop failing my own family. He tried the oldest tool he had. Mom said you were always jealous. I was tired, I said. We're not doing this. I hung up. I blocked no one. I wasn't running. I just wasn't available. By noon, Mom sent a long message in the big chat, a performance I could have lip-synced to. We love you, but this is not how family acts. Your father and I are disappointed. Jacob is devastated. The children are confused. Please remember all the times we've supported you. It came with a photo of the gift pile from last night, all smiles. I replied once. I will no longer share accounts, cards, or bills. Going forward, any help will be discussed and documented. No surprises. No guilt. Dad texted me privately. You're making your mother sick. Put it back. Me, no. Aaron, guess we know who you really are. Me, yes. Then a strange thing happened in the chat. My aunt, quiet, wallpaper until now, wrote, good for you, Noah. Cousin Ben added a thumbs up. My late uncle's wife, who rarely speaks, wrote, we did this last year. Best decision we made. The thread hiccuped. Mom left the chat, dramatic exit. Aaron followed. Jake renamed it Family, without traitors. Then he left too. My house got peaceful. The kids built a pillow fort. Lena crawled in with them and texted me a photo of 3 heads in a row, all hair and soft cheeks. I saved it. In the afternoon, I opened a spreadsheet. Old pattern. But this time it wasn't for plugging leaks. It was a list of things I could add back to our life now that the drip stopped. Swimming lessons. A new pair of boots for Lena. The library fundraiser my daughter wanted to support with sticker money. A weekend at the cheap cabin by the lake in the spring. I named the file Yes. At 3, Dad left me a voicemail. Your mother is crying. Be a man. I deleted it. At 4, my sister, half-sister technically, on Mom's side, we share a decade of awkward holidays, texted me for the first time in months. I'm proud of you, she wrote. I canceled my Amazon family last year. They still bring it up at Thanksgiving. I bring pie and ignore them. Thanks, I wrote back. She sent a pie emoji and a tiny knife. We both laughed, even in text. By evening, the storm moved from outrage to quiet. They were setting up new accounts, figuring out that free trial means set a calendar reminder. Mom posted a photo of a jigsaw puzzle with half the pieces done. Caption, making our own fun. A dig. I didn't take it. We did movie night. Our son picked an old animated film. Our daughter picked the couch corner that swallows you. I made popcorn in a pot because the microwave version gives Lena a headache. Mid-movie, my phone buzzed with a new number. This is the streaming service. The message read, we noticed you canceled. I laughed out loud. The kids shushed me dramatically. After bedtime, Lena and I sat at the table, elbows touching. I thought your dad would push harder, she said. He will, I said. He needs an audience. What happens now? We keep our money, I said. If they want something, they can ask. If we say yes, it's with boundaries. And Christmas next year? We'll be out of town, I said. The idea landed clean. Somewhere with real cinnamon. We cleaned the kitchen. It felt like wiping off a whiteboard after years of scribbles. A few days later, Mom texted a single line. Are we still invited to the kids' recital? I stared at it for a second. Olmi would read it 3 times, find the trap. Numi read it once. Yes, I wrote. Please don't bring gifts. Just come on time. She replied with a period. Not a yes. Not a no. A period. Fine. Jake hasn't called since the blow-up. He made a story about fake family and haters and posted it on an app one don't use. Aaron liked it with 3 fire emojis. Their kids called our kids to ask if they could still come over to build forts sometimes. Yes, we said. Our door is not a bank. It's still a door. Dad tried one more, be a man, voicemail that sounded like an ad for a timeshare. I didn't call back. I don't need to defend a boundary that keeps my house standing. I keep thinking about my son at the tree, pretending the box was the fun part. I keep thinking about my daughter's grip on a tin of ugly cookies. I grew up trained to believe that love meant proving your worth in small payments. I'm done paying for permission to be respected. Now the house is quieter. The budget is honest. Our kids ask, can we get the hot chocolate with the mini marshmallows? And I say, yes, without checking if Jake needs gas money first. Lena stopped carrying a receipt pile in her purse, just in case. I unsubscribed from a dozen family emails that weren't mine. Last night, my aunt texted me a screenshot. Mom had started her own streaming account. The profile icons were generic, no cute names, just user 1. It made me laugh. They'll survive. They always do when they have to. Here's what I understand now. I can't make my parents fair. I can make my home safe. I can't keep Jake from choosing spotlights over grocery lists. I can choose not to light the stage for him. If my kids learn anything from this, let it be that love isn't a tab you keep open out of guilt. It's a table you sit at because everyone brings something, even if it's just the salt and a good joke. I didn't end Christmas. I ended the story where I'm the extra wallet with a smile. I'm still the one who fixes the Wi-Fi, remembers birthdays, keeps chats from dying. I'm still me. I'm just not their bank. No more shared cards. No more secret add-ons. No more acting weird when a card declines that isn't mine. If I help, it's clear, it's planned, it's mine to give. I'm not overreacting. I'm done being used. And that's the whole moral, simple as a snowman pancake. I will not be punished for having boundaries. I will not confuse access with love. I will not teach my kids that generosity means ignoring unfairness until it feels normal. They can keep their VIP tickets. I'll keep my family. And this time, I'm the one who decides who gets in.